want you guys to believe. Don't just listen to me. Feel me in your soul. Believe you can win. Believe you can win.
Let's go to work.
Gentlemen, welcome back to an all-new fun-filled season of Pigskin Postweek, as we run through the weekly highlights of the 2025 NFL Fantasy Turd Long League. The season kicked off with America's team and the defending Super Bowl champs Thursday night as the Eagles hosted the Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb had a hot start, hitting his receiving line in the first quarter alone. He ended up finishing with 7 receptions on 13 targets for 110 yards, locking in 15.5 points. The Eagles' workhorse Saquon Barkley obtained 16.4 with 60 yards and a score on 18 carries and catching 4 of 5 for another 24 yards through the air. 2 critical drops by CeeDee Lamb on the final drive ended what seemed to be a sure comeback win for Dallas. An all-new NFL-exclusive YouTube stream of the Chiefs and Chargers was watched by no one Friday night, as only alerts of Xavier Worthy getting plowed by Travis Kelce flooded notifications. Waiver wire star Quentin Johnson lighting up for 22.4 on 5 catches for 79 yards with 2 trips to the end zone while he was being owned by literally only 1% of all fantasy teams. Sunday's noon kickoff featured an unlikely shootout between Justin Fields and the Jets hosting Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers, as it was originally predicted to be a defensive clash. Vegas couldn't have been more wrong, as both teams tallied a combined 66 points as the Steelers slipped past the Jets on a game-winning field goal, 34-32. Rodgers had a 2021-like start as he completes 22 of 30 for 244 yards and 4 touchdowns, while Justin Fields scores nearly 30 fantasy points, rushing for 2 scores and having another through the air. The afternoon docket had an NFC North showdown of the Green Bay Packers hosting the Detroit Lions. Newly acquired Micah Parsons for Green Bay did not disappoint, as the Packers only allowed 46 total rushing yards to the Sonic and Knuckles duo of Jamar Gibbs and David Montgomery. Scoring only 13 points, Detroit starts their season off looking like they did back in 2008. Then we have Sunday Night Football that brought in a rematch of last year's AFC Divisional Playoffs between the Bills and the Ravens. Both of these high-octane offenses did not disappoint, as 81 points were scored in the game. Lamar Jackson led the way as he puts up 29 fantasy points with 209 yards and 2 touchdowns through the air, and 6 carries for 70 yards with another score on the ground. Zay Flowers was the main recipient of Lamar's passes, gaining 143 yards on 7 of them with a trip to the end zone as well. Derrick Henry picked up right where he left off rushing last season as he gets 169 yards on 18 carries with 2 touchdowns, paving the way for a sure victory for Baltimore as they led 40-25 with 4 minutes left in regulation. Then came Josh Allen, who does Josh Allen things as he led Buffalo to an NFL history comeback, putting up 394 yards and 2 tutties with his arm, and another 30 yards and 2 scores with his legs. As a costly late fumble for Henry opened the door for the Bills as they win on a game-winning field goal, 41-40. Week 1's action came to a close with another NFC North matchup Monday night between the Bears and the Vikings. The Bears still suck as they allowed Minnesota to outscore them 21-7 in the final quarter of play as they lose their home opener 24-27. Darren has the largest margin of victory along with the highest score this week for the $20 payout as he cruises past Brent 137-98 with solid weeks from his receivers Puka Nacua and Garrett Wilson each notching 19. Battling for the $10 least points payout, I Finish Last does in fact finish last this week as he falls 72-78 to Valor Magoulas as 5 of 9 players only scored him 3 points. The Denver Bronco defense was the leading scorer between both of these teams at 17. Steel Reserve went into Sunday night trailing Herbo the GOAT, but Lamar Jackson couldn't keep pace with both Allen and Henry as he solidifies a victory 126-99. DeBroni sneaks past Milwaukee Bears for a slim victory with 8 points from DeAndre Swift Monday night, 92-87. The slimmest margin of victory came for Taylor as it comes down to his DJ Moore against Jordan's Justin Jefferson. Jefferson had 4 catches, 44 yards, and a score for 12.8. But DJ Moore did just enough, catching 3 for 68 as 414 Cartel falls 96-99. Tune in next week for stats, scores, highlights, and more with Pigskin Postweek.